Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Fourth Night Podcast, where we talk about everything
From creeps
to cryptids
to creatures. Oh my God. So, if you guys are ready, grab some spooky popcorn and a spooky beverage and hold the hand of this scariest skeleton next to you. And strap in for the Fourth Night Podcast.
Is it time for the
I think it's time.
most
right, yeah.
fucking terrible? Is this the worst school shooting? The most casualties?
Yes. I think.
Are you sure?
Here, let me.
I think.
I don't think it is. I think there's
let me look it up.
the one or two other ones that are up.
Didn't Cho kill like almost as many people?
Who?
That was his name. Right?
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Virginia Tech.
No,
guy.
he only killed
No,
he only killed like 7
It wasn't
people.
that many.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Most fatal school shooting.
How many did
Look.
26.
Lanza? 26.
Yeah.
There was some kid who killed more than that.
Yeah,
For sure.
School shootings by death toll here.
No,
Good
I don't
old,
think so.
Good
This
old
is-
Wikipedia.
By the way, this is very grim and probably what they wanted. But
That's
a lot of these
disgusting,
people are dead.
but
Fuck these guys.
I need to know. List of not mass shootings. No, hold on. There's too many of those. Let's see.
Yeah. I was watching the news or a news report, and I think it said it was like the second worst mass shooting in American history. This was before
Really?
the
School shooting.
This, yeah, right. And this was before Vegas too, but
Oh, you're right. It was Virginia Tech. He killed 33 people.
Oh, really?
Really?
Virginia Tech.
Sandy Hook is second.
yeah. Wow, 33.
Oof.
That was one of
yeah.
the first ones. That was like in 2007.
That was in 2007.
Yeah, 2007.
Yep. And then it's going to tell us all about. Take it away.
Sandy Hook, baby,
Sandy Hook.
aka your boy Adam Lanza.
No one's boy. I'm not claiming his ass.
Or did it happen?
Most known,
Oh, true.
What was that?
probably most known for his ridiculously expert DDR skills.
Was he even good at that?
And secondly, the mass shooting, yeah. But first, DDR.
Yeah, that's a super creepy video.
Oh my God, yeah.
Really-
When he walks towards the camera and he's got that like,
Yeah, man.
Manson lamps.
Oh my
yeah, he's got
God.
those Manson lamps playing.
Yeah. They're
for sure.
blaring on full blast.
Yep.
Adam Lanza was a strange kid, a strange young man who liked things like DDR. I mean, this kid would go and play 6 to 10 hours like at a time. Like pretty nuts.
Oh, did he like at the arcade or?
Yeah. It was a commercial version of DDR. So I don't think it was like technically DDR, but you know, same thing.
Commercial version.
Yeah, like just a cheap knockoff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What?
I
It
know.
wasn't even real DDR.
Sorry
it
to
was
disappoint
knockoff
you. Yeah, I'm
DDR?
a fucking loser. But let's rewind just a little bit. So Adam Lanza was born in New Hampshire in 92.
Uh-oh.
I know, right?
Dangerously
What does that mean?
close to a couple more fools in this room.
Right. Mom was a stockbroker. Dad was an executive. He was actually he was an executive for GE, and he was like
Oh, really?
still is, I think, yeah, really, really high up in GE.
Dang.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oof.
So
So
he was an
pretty well
asshole.
off.
he was
So
an
a
asshole,
huge asshole. Got
a
it.
rich asshole. Yep.
Noted.
So they were still together, right? They moved to Newtown, Connecticut in 98.
It's Newtown, not Newton, right?
Newtown, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Newtown.
More respect. Okay.
One
cool.
word. Newtown. 98, baby. Let's go.
Okay.
So pretty early on, it was apparent that he had pretty significant developmental like abnormalities relating to like communication deficits. Missed a lot of milestones
Okay.
for kids of that age. Yeah, like social milestones, you know, things like
Yeah.
that.
Developmental milestones.
Yeah,
There.
starting to
Yeah.
talk.
Not like educational or just like social?
Yeah. That kind of comes a little bit later.
Okay.
He wasn't in school yet, but
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
like early
Yeah.
childhood
Right.
milestones.
yeah, like 3 years old. they're noticing that he's just like an abnormal kid. Like this is like coming from his family.
He never got like a victory royale or whatever.
What?
Fortnite. Sorry.
I don't know anything about Fortnite, so I don't know what you're talking about.
It wasn't even around.
I know the dances. Are pretty cool. I can floss like a
Hell yeah, brother.
like a mamma jamma.
Yeah, brother.
Like something you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Fucking A. All right.
Continue, sorry.
So, let me see. He was, so fast forward a couple of years, still living with mom and dad in Newtown, right? He is diagnosed with sensory integration disorder, which basically just means he's, well, in his case, like very sensitive, like to physical touch, like was one of his big things. Like his mom had to take off like the tags like from his clothing, things like that.
Oh, interesting. CID?
SID.
SID.
Yeah.
Oh, sensory.
Integration disorder.
Sid.
SID.
CID.
Yeah, SIDS?
Oh my God. He's a trooper. He's still alive. He had SIDS.
Is that like a...
Sorry, that's not funny, but
Yeah.
Is that like a part of autism or something? I guess they might have probably called it Asperger's back then.
Typically.
But
Well, fast forward a couple years, he is diagnosed with Asperger's
there you go.
at age 13.
okay. Age 13 is
yeah.
when they diagnosed it.
Right. Super late in the game.
Yikes.
That's late in the game? Really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like this should have happened around like 5 or 6, right?
Well, yeah, because you need to get them like the appropriate therapy
Right,
so they
right.
can thrive instead of just.
Yeah.
How did
Yeah.
they miss that if he was missing...
Well, they probably were just
Developmental
like, oh, he has weird sensory stuff, and that was like all they took it as, and
Yeah.
they probably
What?
didn't. Yeah, that's
Right.
kind of
Damn.
stupid.
It's so crazy,
mean,
like we go through all these
well-
cases and everything is
well,
just like a missed red flag.
yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Kind of going ahead a little bit. So Asperger's is, that's how you say it, right?
Asperger's.
I thought it was Asperger's.
No.
no,
Okay.
Asperger's.
Asperger's. Well, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant now
Yeah, apparently.
because it is now known as autism spectrum disorder.
Correct. They don't use Asperger's anymore.
It's all been like absorbed, right?
Right.
For the
Yeah.
DSM-5 or whatever.
Yeah, it's all on the.
So it's just a spectrum.
Spectrum.
Yeah. But yeah, like that kind of fits into like, so kind of to your point, what you just said, both of you guys about how, things kind of got missed and he got diagnosed like at such a late age is because in like the mental health profession, like it's really hard to get it right the first time. Well, you're not going to get it right the first time. Like it takes like, you need to see one clinician, consistently for a long time to get like a real, proper diagnosis. And
Yeah.
Adam like did not contribute to therapy sessions and he refused to take any medication. So I think they attempted like when he was younger, like prior to age 8, like age 13 to do those things, but he just didn't cooperate basically.
Is that like I guess it would kind of be almost like a symptom of SID,
Right.
which kind of makes sense. You wouldn't really want to,
Right.
yeah.
But it's, like,
So it's like a compounding effect.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
That's like, so SID is different. It's like a separate disorder from autism spectrum disorder.
it's like a subcategory of that,
Okay.
like, comorbidity is like going to be a pretty big part of his life. Like, ASD, comorbidly with SID, like you can't have one without the other sometimes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So, where are we? Adam Lanza is 13 years old. Just got diagnosed with ASD. With SID. So, both of those things. Like, it wasn't just, like, upgraded. Like, he
Right.
still has the two, diagnoses. diagnoses.
SID was just a compounding factor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So psychology and like mental health, like it's all self-reporting, and especially with a kid like that young, it's going to be really hard to get the right diagnosis that early on, especially when he's not contributing to his therapy sessions. So, when he was diagnosed, this is coming like from the clinicians and stuff like that saw him. Some things that were noted were no empathy, which is probably one of the key ones. Rigid thought process.
No empathy for ASD is a major red flag.
So, I mean, I don't know. You tell me. Like, this is just what they...
Edith.
Yeah.
So that's tough. It's like,
It might not have to do with like ASD, but like
right.
he was diagnosed with ASD and then these things additionally. Like I'm not sure if it's like
so
directly...
lack of empathy sounds more to me like antisocial, like personality disorder trait. But at the same time, like people with ASD have a hard time relating to other people and like reading facial expressions and stuff and like forming close connections with people. So if you're not really connecting with other people, then you might lack empathy.
Yeah. Those things...
Due to that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because socially you're just inept. So,
right. And he was probably being like bullied and he was probably angry.
He probably was. Kind of some things that like stood out to me were throughout his like high school career and earlier than that, no reports from Adam or his parents of bullying. Mm-hmm. No one saw it. Yeah, like
Okay.
So no one like corroborated that. Yeah, like because you would think like, oh yeah, like this kid probably got bullied. He probably like didn't have a lot of interaction.
Right.
Yeah, he's
Which can be just as bad.
Socially isolated. Yeah.
Right. So there's that. So there were things in writing and like conversation like that he would take like as a fact. I can't really like expand on that too much because like I don't have a good example of that. But things in writing like he would take
as like literal.
Yeah.
So like fiction, I guess you'd. That was.
I don't think like he was like delusional or anything like that, but
But he had kind of almost like a detachment to reality, kind of.
I think maybe
could contextualize something.
Maybe it kind of goes back to like the rigid thought process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
So like what he was reading, like this is what it says, like on paper, like this is how it is, 100%, and you can't tell me, like very black and white, I guess.
All right.
So let me see. He was diagnosed with OCD at age 14. Mm-hmm. So we have OCD with comorbid ASD and SID.
And he's got all the D's.
Yeah. OCD.
At 14,
yeah. OCD is super common.
Yeah.
And ASD as well because they have certain rituals and things that they'll do and repeat. And it's like a self-soothing comfort thing for them.
He tried really hard, man, because he had some... excuse me. Jeez. Mic check. Yeah, he definitely had some rituals. I don't know, probably not rituals, but he frequent hand washing. He used tissues like to open doors, like one box a day at least.
So he had like contamination obsessions probably.
He changed his socks so often that his mother said she was doing 3 loads of laundry a day.
Holy shit.
Yeah. 3 loads of his laundry a day.
Is there like,
so mostly socks, yeah.
Is there like any way to like kind of fix this? Like through therapy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably with therapy and medication.
And high doses of SSRIs.
Absolutely. But he was super resistant to both of those things.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Because of that fucking SIDS.
He refused to take medication and he didn't engage in therapy sessions.
Damn.
Okay.
From the start.
Shit.
Some other notable symptoms that he had were he couldn't like tolerate colors in books, so his mom would photocopy the books in black and white.
What?
Yeah, which is the first time like that I had heard something like that.
That's so interesting.
Photos and books.
So colors, like bright colors, were
Just like colors in
noxious
textbooks,
to him,
right?
Just specifically in
Interesting.
textbooks,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, right.
or in books in general. That's so
Right.
interesting. I've never heard of that.
So this is like kind of a common thing too. Nancy is her name, was an enabler, you know.
The mom.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
it sounds like it.
She definitely fell short. Like people
Yikes.
vilify her as like a co-conspirator. I wouldn't go that far, but
Yeah,
She
I don't
definitely
think
didn't
So,
want
Why?
but-
Just because she fucking photocopied some textbooks? She
well,
fucking,
like you know, because like,
Jesus.
oh yeah, like you raised this monster, it's
she
all
didn't,
your
she didn't
fault.
fucking
You know what I
help
mean?
him reload and shit. Jesus, fucking sucks.
Seriously, wasn't
I know.
she already? Well, Matt will talk about it, but
Yeah.
But they were pretty wealthy, right? So they could have afforded like some crazy ass therapy.
yeah, they could have afforded.
Yeah,
Because they wanted
I mean,
to.
but but if you don't want the help, or
I guess.
you know, like mom should have put him somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably because they started too late. If they would have got him in therapy a little bit earlier, if you try to get a 13-year-old to start therapy and stuff, they're probably going to be like,
It's tough.
I'm
Yeah.
a teenager and I don't want to do anything.
Right. And this kid did not want to do anything. So Nancy wasn't the only person that fell short in warning signs. He was excessively anxious, as you couldn't tell. People made him pretty anxious. Change made him pretty anxious.
Yep, rigid thought.
Yep.
Stuff. Yep.
He was even brought to the emergency department for anxiety once.
Oh,
His mother brought him.
that's really sad.
Yeah. So I'm not.
Where's like the dad on all this? Is he just being a CEO or some shit
I was
somewhere?
wondering that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just being a fucking.
Just
This
being
is-
a
yeah.
CEO somewhere, piece of shit.
Yeah. The ER visit was at age
Smoky
13, by
fluid.
the way. So I'm not sure if like
the what? What's that again?
the ER visit.
Oh,
He was 13.
He was
Yeah.
13. Okay.
So I'm not sure if they like checked him in for a couple days or I don't know. You know,
They
cleared
probably
him.
like gave him some benzos and sent him on his way.
Yep. And
Like an
he probably
EKG to make
didn't
sure
take
he
them.
wasn't dying.
orange
Right.
juice. Help your brain.
Yeah, it's good for anxiety. Vitamin C.
Vitamin C, dude. Socially awkward.
Sure.
Sure.
Aren't we all right, guys?
Lumbering gait.
True.
So he just
Lumbering
had,
gait.
yeah. He just
Aw.
walked very, very oddly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that just a kind of a quirk of the?
That can be associated with ASD.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
some people think that like Jeffrey Dahmer had ASD.
I can
and,
see
like,
that.
He had a really, like weird gait. Like he didn't really bend his knees, and like he just had a he would just watch people, and like not like avert his gaze. Like he would just like stare at people. You know, things like that.
Well, maybe it's chronic stubbing your toe.
He had really bad ingrown toenails.
Yeah. Yikes.
Ooh, God, those are awful.
Yeah.
You're tough.
I mean, Tom knows about those.
Yeah, that was bad, dude.
More editing work for you.
Yeah, you had to have that. What do they do for that?
Oh, I just
They just cut it out, right?
Yeah,
Well,
they cut it out.
yeah, it was gnarly. It was like big.
Oh my God. That was
All of it was
brutal.
just digging in my toenail.
Yeah, because you went into my work for it, and
Yeah.
they just like cut a huge piece off.
Yeah, they did like a localized.
Who did it? Do you remember? Well, actually, don't say
Anesthetic
their
or
name, but.
whatever.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yep.
she's so sweet.
It was,
I know,
yeah, it was
she-
definitely a lady.
She's the best, and she had a resident with her, and I think he actually did the procedure, but she was like overseeing.
I think
it.
she did
cool.
it.
Did she
actually.
do it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she
Yeah,
did.
either way, I was in there too, so I got to see it.
Oh,
It was
cool.
Awesome.
It was
Wow.
gnarly, brother. Whoa.
It was really gross.
She
and
took
there was,
like a-
pus coming
Yeah,
out.
a little.
Oh, God, really?
I think they were like surgical scissors, you know? that
Yeah, a
you
little
cut for,
forceps,
like,
something like that.
It was
and
like a hemostat, I think.
Hemostat,
Yeah,
yeah.
she just cut right down
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
nail.
It was
up
like-
to the bed of the nail.
It was right.
Jesus.
It was a couple of centimeters from the left of like the middle of my
Yeah,
big
it was.
toenail.
It was like.
So it was pretty. It was
Pretty much the middle.
It was almost in the middle, yeah, basically.
Right down the middle.
yeah, it almost
then-
was. It was, and then pulled it right out.
Yep.
Did they give you a shot for that? They probably shot.
Oh,
you
yeah,
for the
localized.
blood,
Yeah,
right?
they did a
Anesthesia or
localized,
whatever,
like a lidocaine.
Yeah.
Hopefully without epi if it was under your toe.
If
But
you got a shot in your toe, that probably sucked.
Yeah, it wasn't that. Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
yeah.
I will say the train ride back though sucked ass.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure it hurt so
yeah,
bad.
because they wrapped the shit out of my toe.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like my foot couldn't fit in my shoe anymore.
Oh my god, you fucking freak on the train.
So
Like,
I
who
was,
the fuck is
I was
this
walking
guy?
like Jeffrey Dahmer, dude, making eye contact with
the Dahmer
motherfuckers.
walk, not
Yeah.
looking away from anyone.
I'm like, man, it'd be really cool if I
shit.
poured hot water into your brain and made you a robot. Or
My
whatever
own
the fuck
zombie.
you did. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Until
know, I
you
mean, just
died.
You know, just
And then keep you in the fridge.
Yeah, keep you in the fridge and then eat you sometimes.
a cozy night. Cozy night in.
One piece at a time. Ew.
So sweet. Tenderize the meat. Tenderize the meat.
You know what they call people? People meat? They call it long pig because humans taste like gamey pork, apparently.
Long pig.
Yeah, that's what some African tribes call humans.
Jesus
Human
Christ.
meat, I guess. Yeah.
Why long? Because we're taller than pigs?
I believe so, yeah.
That's
yeah.
disgusting.
Isn't that fucking creepy?
Long pig. That is
Ugh.
actually terrifying.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So, whenever you eat people, just be like, yeah, you're eating a long pig.
You guys want some pig?
Yeah.
Of the long variety.
Even though pigs can get fucking humongous, though.
Yeah, dude.
They
Like
can be like
they're pretty
5,
long,
6
but
feet long, yeah.
I guess in like a horizontal sense.
Yeah.
But they're long.
Yeah, they're very cute as well. I love pigs.
Yeah, shout out pigs. Oh,
Yeah.
also, I thought this was pretty interesting. He was vegan.
Was he?
Adam
kinda-
Lanza was vegan.
That makes sense though, because you'd assume that like animals are gross,
He,
you know,
yeah.
or
yes,
did he just
right.
like animals?
Yeah. Well, not that he liked animals. He just hated humans and thought that they were needlessly cruel.
Sure,
His words, not mine, which is pretty ironic. Yeah, given the circumstances.
Well, actually,
So-
not really, because if he hates humans and he thinks they're cruel,
you're right.
Yeah.
Didn't he had an issue with like the texture of food, right? So he was like really picky about food in general, I think too.
I would almost guarantee it. Like, I personally haven't like read anything about that, but
Yeah, there's no way he wasn't.
I'd be
not
shocked
that.
if he didn't eat like almost the same thing every day. I'm assuming, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
If this was
Curious, yeah.
if he was an almost normal guy, he'd be on one of those TLC shows where you eat like a bag of chips every day.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
Or,
that,
yeah, like
that
just-
doesn't sound so bad.
French fries or mac and cheese for your whole life.
That doesn't sound bad either.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, man. They're still alive, and some of those guys, like have been doing it for like 10 years. Mm-hmm. All I eat is chips all day.
Yeah, how are those motherfuckers alive?
French fries all day, every day for 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No water, just Pepsi.
No water, just Pepsi.
I absorb the grease from the fries,
Yeah, dude, fries have water in it.
and that's my liquid. Sometimes before I get on the tube, I open my mouth when it's raining. That's how I get my H2O or whatever they fucking call water in Britain.
Liquid.
They call that soggy liquid air. They do.
Water?
Wet air.
You know how they
Like-
fucking called,
Water. They call it water.
They call shit all weird, fucked up types of stuff. You know what they call like trash cans? They call them like wheelie bins, and
Yeah.
everything's got like a Y at
They
the
just
end
call
of
them a bin.
Tube.
Bins.
it. Slim Slam Slimmies. It's like a chair. I don't know.
Hey, you ever try my grandma's taffy apple whipping nuts? Oh, yeah, it's a yeah. Like you ever seen like the British baking show?
Yeah,
And it's
it's
just
like,
like, oh my, it's
We're
like,
making
just
Wim
like, what
Wham
the
Timblies
fuck is
today.
that? Yeah, I'm just like, what the fuck? That looks exactly like the fucking last thing, and it's like, oh, this is with a crumpet, and a wham, a timmy tam, with cherry.
And they all have
Filling.
like really dark backgrounds. Like,
I'm just like, that looks.
this is what we
looks
used
like
to
shit.
feed the Indian slaves
Yeah, dude.
Jesus.
before the rebellions. It's like, okay.
That got dark.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yikes, I thought you guys were nice.
That's
I
probably
really
why.
like that show, though, because
I
they're
do
all so
too, yeah.
nice to each other.
Yeah, it
Like,
is nice.
I'll open the oven door for you, I will.
Oh, I will.
I got it right behind.
Rub
What?
Oh, you need more time? Okay, no worries, mate.
Just make sure Paul doesn't come over here. It's the scary one. He's got those
Yes, he's got those piercing eyes.
those piercing blue eyes. He does.
Can I get a handshake, Paul? Mate?
All right, this is going way,
All right, all
way
right,
off
all
the
right.
rails.
Back to
P.S. Look at this dog.
mass murder.
Aw.
He is straight
Let me
chilling.
get him little headphones.
Oh, good idea. Look at him just looking out the window.
A little mascot, Chippy.
Oh, Chip.
I gotta edit out his name too.
All right. No,
too
you don't.
identifiable.
It's a
Wait,
fucking
what's his
dog. Jesus
podcast name?
Christ.
What's his podcast name?
Jesus Christ.
Daniel.
Because of his, is it because of his fancy sweater? Is
Yeah.
that why his name's Daniel?
I don't know why, but I like naming animals just like regular human
People names?
Yeah, it's
Dude,
very
like
cute.
Paul
or like
the
Shelly or something like that.
Shelly's.
Steven.
Shelly's a good dog name.
Steve. Oh, there's a horse at the barn named
Steve?
Steve.
Yeah.
And then there's
Steven?
another one named Kevin. Kevin the horse.
He's still alive? Steve?
Yeah, Steve and Kevin are there. Their stalls are right next to each other.
He used to be super doped up.
Really?
Oh my God.
They
Yeah.
had him on horse opium all the
Oh
time?
my, yeah, like
For fucking
really
what
bad.
purpose?
That must be some good shit.
He had like ulcers or something. Yeah,
I
but
think
like
they call that ketamine.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
this dude would not move,
All right.
and like his lip would just be like he was super out of it.
Oh, damn.
This horse. Anyway, speaking of horses. No, I'm just kidding. But
Oh, he
So-
hates horses too?
so I'm just covering some things, and then we'll get like to the timeline of the crime. But I got a couple more things that are interesting about Sir Adam Lanza.
Please do.
His IQ was average. Average IQ.
Okay,
Let me see.
fair.
So, as Adam became more withdrawn and isolated, his anxiety and depression, as you could have guessed, intensified. Low self-esteem. So, you would think that like maybe he had like a hard time like controlling his anger, or like he was emotionally reactive, and things like that. And I guess like to a certain extent he was, but reported from his like teacher is like he was a pretty well-behaved kid, I guess. And what was notable like about his behavior is like the lack of reaction. So, and I think like ASD kind of like has like one of two things, like either like an overreaction to stimuli or an underreaction. So Adam was the latter. Not a lot shook him, at least like on the outside. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Enough for people to notice, like this kid's affect, like his like demeanor, like he's like a super like low frequency.
Okay, so he wasn't like
He has a
educationally.
constricted affect.
Constricted
Oh, there you go.
affect.
Constricted.
Yeah.
That's a
Okay.
Good, that's a good line. So he wasn't like
Thanks, I'm a
developmentally.
professional.
Yeah, that's true, actually. So he wasn't like educationally disabled or anything.
No.
No cognitive delays, yeah.
Okay.
So he had an average
Right.
IQ, so
Right.
no cognitive disabilities, it sounds like.
Okay. Average IQ is like 90, right? It floats around like 100 for the United States or whatever.
For the United States. Ooh, no comment. Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, let me see. That being said, he did not do well in school, as you could have guessed. And
He had so much going
Yeah,
on in his poor
right.
brain.
this really frustrated him.
What
It
was
really
he in,
got to him.
Was he in like classes or was he just in normal
Yeah,
classes?
yeah.
He wasn't in special education? Or
No,
anything?
no.
Really? Why
Yeah.
not?
Well, I mean, he didn't have any like developmental disability.
Yeah, but he had so many other ones. That,
Oh, yeah.
That would
Yeah,
like,
sure.
affect his learning.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's really sad. He should have had some sort of
He should have got some
individualized
some kind of special
program.
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, what the fuck?
Well, let me see. His parents got divorced at 16. So what? You're a sophomore in high school,
Yep.
I think. And then from then he was homeschooled.
Wow,
So-
great idea.
Right.
Nancy.
Right. Yeah. Not an involved
Nance.
parent. This kid needs a high level of care or something. anything at this point. And of course, he didn't get that. So,
Why'd you homeschool him?
I mean,
Just because she was lonely or something?
So he made some lists and stuff like that. Like, I'm not sure like the timeline, but he made a couple lists, and the header is just problems. Like, that's like the title of these lists, and like the lights were too bright. Is one that you see a lot. Let me see.
So that sensory thing
Right.
you were talking about.
The lights were too bright. My arm kept touching things. Yeah. So yeah, like things like that. There were too many dirty dishes. There were no tissues, in which he used like to open doors.
Right. You need those tissues, bro.
Yeah. He just made these lists. Yeah, like he made one about school.
So what did Nancy think that? How was this supposed to help him? I don't understand.
What, being homeschooled?
Yeah, because like now it's not even exposure therapy now. It's like you're just isolating your kid into a fucking cave.
Well,
like,
I mean,
how's he
like,
supposed to function like that? I don't understand.
I mean, he hates being in school, and
Yeah, but he's gonna have to like go out and like get a job and talk to people and stuff. You know, I mean, it's either that or put him in like in a home or something. Obviously, I'm asking you this question, but it should be to Nancy.
Yeah.
But I don't know
Yeah,
if
Nancy, what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm actually a big listener.
I did the best I could.
But you know, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just think it's weird that like people do that and it's like, oh fuck it.
I mean,
Maybe
homeschool my kid.
so they get a divorce. I'm guessing she gets custody.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a single parent because
yeah,
I'm sure the dad was like, peace the fuck out. I'm out
yeah.
of here.
$250,000 a year in alimony, by the way.
Woo! God
Fucking
damn.
serious? And you couldn't get this kid into some sort of...
$250,000 a year in alimony. So
Man.
that doesn't factor into child support either. So this dude was rich.
What the
So, yeah.
F,
Yeah.
Nancy?
What was the dad
Had
doing
plenty of
during all
access.
Oh, did he have any
moved.
siblings?
Adam?
Yeah.
Yes, he had an older brother.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about him?
He worked for his dad.
Okay, so he was
nepotism at his finest.
not on the spectrum.
He's in finance or something. Yeah,
How
yeah, no, normal
old?
kid.
Finance.
How much older was he?
I think he was like 2 or 3 years older than him.
Oh, okay. So he
Yeah.
wasn't that much older. Mm-hmm. Is there? Do you?
Kind of an
he-
interesting that ties in like towards the end.
Okay,
Of,
gotcha.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. We'll wait.
With him. Let me see. Where were we? 16. Pulled out of school. Homeschooled, if you want to call it that. I'm sure not a lot got done because Nancy's, I don't know.
Sucks.
They went and shot guns together. I know, like, they did that.
Oh, I
She was a member of the
see.
NRA.
That's what they
yeah,
were doing.
Yeah, like, not officially, but
Got it.
she was interested in the NRA.
She was a big gun nut, I guess.
She was a gun nut. Yeah. Had a gun safe with lots of guns. And it's like, kind of going back, like, with all of his problems, and now you have a gun, and this. So, like, Adam was obsessed with violence. He was also very private, especially when it came to Nancy. Like, did not let her in his room.
Typical teenager.
Right. But, I mean, like, he has so many problems going on. It's like, you know, this is my kid. Like, this is my house. I'm going to go in your fucking room. You know what I mean?
He needed
Like,
somebody to go through his shit.
yeah, somebody. Oh, man. Like, looking at photos, like, that they took, like, the night of the attack. I'll show them to you guys one time, but I'll try and do my best to paint the picture for you. Like, so the room is, like, as depressing as you can imagine. Like, a computer, a bed with no sheets on it.
No sheets on the bed.
Yeah. Well, like, probably because he changed them, you know, so frequently.
Oh,
Who
true.
knows?
Or maybe
You know?
he didn't like the feel of sheets or
Right.
something.
Dark, like, black, heavy-duty plastic bags taped over every window.
Oh, because he didn't like light.
Completely taped over the windows. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super, super eerie. So, yeah, like, this kid was very private. Let me see here. So, he was super fixated on violence. He loved Columbine
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
as, like, that weird, like, counterculture. Dude, people are obsessed with those kids. Dylan and Eric. Like, they love those kids. Like, you know.
What year was Columbine?
That was
91.
99. 91? I thought it was 99.
I thought it was 99 too. Hold on. Let's do
no.
a fact check.
It was 90.
I think it was 99 as well.
Yeah, could've
Because
was
we were, I remember when it happened and how
Yeah, maybe
old
you're
we
right.
were and stuff. Yeah, it was 99. April
99.
4/20, 99.
Yep.
Eric and Dylan, fucking assholes.
Eric and Dylan.
That's such like a stupid fucking like fan base too. It's like
Oh,
because
dude,
they had
it's
long hair.
disgusting.
They love him. Yeah, like they make like fan edits like with cool music and like all this shit. Yeah, man. They're trendsetters, I guess. But anyway, he loved Columbine. He liked violence. He compiled like a spreadsheet of mass murder, like a big spreadsheet, like 600
I wonder if Richard
cases.
Speck was on
probably.
there.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, like what type of
That
weapons
was like the
they
first
used.
mass murder. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So like he had a big interest. Like he's on message boards, like talking to people about it, like giving his take on like what could have happened or should have happened, like during this mass murder, like what he thinks like the thought process was of the killers, or like discussing like suicide notes or why they didn't leave them, you know.
So he was like a BTK who was like obsessed with other serial killers.
Yeah.
He was like,
It was just
I'm going
super
to emulate you.
right.
Did he really
super
like
interesting
guns?
to him.
Did he like really?
Oh,
like-
yeah.
Yeah. Did he? Oh.
Yeah. Loved guns. Something he did with his mom, you know. So,
Cute.
yeah. I mean, what teenage kid, doesn't think guns is cool? You know,
Yeah.
most do.
It's true.
Especially if they're into video games and stuff.
Yeah.
Which he was.
I see that. Yeah.
He played violent video games. He also played some non-violent ones, like DDR. So
Spyro, my personal favorite.
Year of the Dragon is the most violent.
he liked Mario a lot. Super Mario,
Mario.
Yeah, that was one of his favorites.
Well, then what the fuck happened? I don't
know.
get it.
I know. Why? Such a happy character, you know what I mean? Pretty good role model, but
Can't with this
The dog is
dog
doing
is-
something very cute right now.
dog is literally the cutest thing that
so-
ever lived. Sorry.
graduated high school, surprisingly, and started taking some college classes. He wanted to be an Army Ranger, so kind of like a common theme, like
I feel like
with
that's
people.
a huge red flag.
Yeah, like with people.
What's an Army Ranger?
They
He wanted to be in the
basically
Army.
A sniper.
Yeah, he wanted to
Okay.
be like
Yeah.
yeah.
Just want to kill people. Got
Well,
it.
yeah, they're in like forward positions and they do like recon and they like perform like assassinations of like high value targets and stuff.
Like Putin,
So like a lot of serial
Well, not
killers,
like Boone. Boone's a little bitch.
like Bin Laden.
like a lot of serial killers,
Also not
like
Bin Laden, but
the fixation on
are you
police.
just naming people? Or...
Fixation on police.
Sorry, I mean Mark.
So yeah, like he wanted to be a cop, basically. Like let's just say that.
Is this like
A lot of them do, right?
I feel like this is almost like a serial killer. Like they should be right next to like hurting animals, like
Right.
wanting to be. Because I feel like I've heard that Army Ranger line like
Oh yeah.
a million times. Or a cop.
Yeah. Right.
Which is fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's why
I
we're
mean,
having so many goddamn issues with the police.
Yeah, I feel like half those motherfuckers would not pass like a psych eval.
Nope.
But they're all pretty good manipulators. Like Richard Speck probably would pass, because that dude knew how to talk and get his way out of
Oh
things.
yeah, he did pass. That's how he got the fuck out of jail and was able
Yeah.
to kill a million people.
I'm sure he could have been a cop. Easy. Okay.
Easy.
To the timeline of the crime. So
Shit.
it is December 14th, 2012. Sunny, crisp morning in Newtown, Connecticut. It's Friday, right?
Friday.
Friday.
Gotta get down on Friday.
Adam's a young man. He doesn't have a job.
Young shitty
And
man.
he doesn't have a lot of responsibilities.
How old is he?
So he doesn't really have anywhere to be. It's 9 a.m. 20 years old.
He's 20. Okay.
He's 20. Mom is also home. She's asleep. Some reports initially were he got shot in the face, or he shot her in the face, but no, he shot her 4 times in the back while she was in her bed.
Stomach sleeper.
Stomach sleeper.
Shot her right in the back.
I did that too.
Shot her with a a Savage Mark II bolt action rifle, 22 caliber, 4 times in the back.
Why did he kill her?
Because, well, I mean, that's another question that you'll have throughout this whole case is why, you know what I mean?
True.
Immediately following killing his mom, he destroyed his computer's hard drive.
Fuck.
Yep. Drove about 5 miles to the school.
Side note, didn't his mom work at the school?
Yeah. Just real quickly, she didn't work there in any like official capacity.
Oh.
They say that she like volunteered there or was somehow affiliated with the school.
Got it.
This almost feels very spiteful to the mother.
Yeah.
Actually, is there like any record of him like really hating his mom?
I mean, they did not get along.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think one time his mom had asked him like, what would you do if I wasn't around? Or would you be upset if I was dead? Or something to that effect. And his response was no.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Thanks.
Yeah, so that can kind of like encapsulate their relationship, I think. He just didn't care. No empathy. Didn't really care about his mom. Didn't like his mom. Like they got divorced. She was planning on moving to Washington State for some reason. I don't know, fresh start. Okay. And like he's got a rigid thought process. He doesn't
Oh yeah, he was probably like, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
Doesn't like change. I mean, didn't sound like he was doing too hot where he was at, but at least he was familiar with it,
Right.
And he knew about the move?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that was the plan. Like it wasn't super set in stone or anything like that to my knowledge, but okay. So he drove 5 miles to the school. So it was about like 9 o'clock, He brought 4 weapons with him: a Bushmaster XM15E2, 223 caliber, so that's a pretty big gun; an Ishmash Saiga 12 gauge shotgun, a Glock 20, and a Sig Sauer. Those are pistols, the last 2.
Bushmaster is like a rifle.
Right. Yeah.
A hunting rifle.
Bushman, the bush, the African bush.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when you think of like a G.I. Joe, like the gun they have, like that's pretty much what it was.
G.I. Joe. Got it.
Meant for shooting people, essentially.
Okay.
That's fucked.
In fact, like all of these guns are pretty much meant for shooting people. Like none of them are like hunting rifles.
Which, why the fuck? Like other than war, and if you're in the military, why
I could not
do you
agree.
have that?
Because guns are cool. That's it.
Guns are cool.
Guns are cool.
Guns are cool, and for some reason in this country, and like most of the world, guns equate freedom for some reason.
Right, or power.
Right. So
Freedom.
okay, so he has all these guns. He has tons of ammunition for these guns. He arrives at about 9:30. He has all the guns with him except the shotgun, which he left in the trunk of his mom's car. But nonetheless, so the security at the school was pretty good. Nothing like what it was when I was in school. Like the security measures like that they had here were pretty advanced, I thought. Like the doors are locked. Like there's like 2 doors. Like there's a check-in desk.
And then like a vestibule.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like all these doors are locked.
Were the doors glass?
Yeah. They had like glass windows in the middle, right? So he shoots out the glass doors, and now he's inside. And it's about 9:30. He pretty much goes in, and like at the front desk, or I think in classroom 1, they were doing like the morning announcements. So the intercom was on the whole time for the whole school, which is kind of like, pretty terrifying, like, but also probably kind of like helpful, like for people to like be aware of what was going on, I guess, as soon as possible, right?
Who's on the intercom?
Someone was giving announcements.
Principal or some shit.
Right. But now, like echoing through the school, like they're just hearing like gunshots and like people screaming, right?
Oh my God.
So in a couple minutes, he goes through the school and shoots 26 and 7-year-olds and 6 adults, including the principal and like a school counselor and some other teachers. He killed everyone with the Bushmaster rifle.
Really? Isn't that like a bolt action?
No, a semi-automatic.
Oh, semi-automatic.
Yeah,
Okay.
semi-automatic 223. Yep, kills everyone with that and shoots himself using the Glock 20.
I was gonna say, did he train? How did he shoot himself with a fucking rifle?
Yeah,
Got it. Okay. Got
yeah,
it.
man. I mean,
So like he killed himself when the cops arrived, right?
so yeah, maybe I'll kind of like go into more detail. Like, so he like didn't really have a solid plan about like what he was like doing. Like, he passed the first classroom, like, which was full of kids. You would think that he would just go into that classroom and kill all of them, but no. Like, they all hid in the bathroom with their teacher and survived. And I think most of the kids died in like 1 or 2 classrooms. Yeah. And yeah, he just shot them all in the face, basically, like multiple times. Like, so these kids were like not recognizable anymore, you know?
Oh
Jesus.
my God.
Yeah.
At least they died quickly.
I mean, yeah, like that size of gun probably pretty quickly, you know?
Did he shoot the adults a bunch of times too, or just the kids?
I'm not sure. Like, those things, like,
Yeah, I'm guessing they probably
will probably never be released to the public. Yeah.
So, like, how many times did he have to reload?
So here's kind of like a cool little anecdote about that. So he had his magazines taped taped together in such a fashion, like, where when he was out of one magazine, like, he could take it out of the gun, flip it over, and then pop the next one in.
Okay.
But he had some trouble chambering or whatever, like cycling the ammunition like a couple times. Mm-hmm. And apparently this one kid, while Adam was like trying to reload, like sacrificed, like himself, I guess you could say, like to save these other kids, like, cause he popped out and was like, okay guys, like run. And, like 5 kids, they started running out. Actually, I take that back. I think those kids got shot too, but nonetheless, like, that's kind of the thing. So yeah, he had a lot of ammunition and trouble reloading, and it all happened super quick. And like, there wasn't a lot of, so like, when he entered a room and shot kids, like, no one survived, like, in those rooms. Mm-hmm. It's like, so there's not a lot of testimony, like, about exactly
what happened.
This is such a weird case because the fact that he like and they couldn't recover anything off the hard drive, right?
No.
Damn, yeah. It's so crazy how like there's almost no information on like what actually happened.
Yeah.
And what like led up to this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Which
like,
fucking sucks. I would be so interested to see what that hard drive had.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they just, well, not just, like, this was probably 2 years ago, but they released like probably about 1,000 pages of like documents or like posts like that he made, or like journal writings and stuff like that. Like the lists like that I mentioned. Yeah. Things like that. Throughout his whole life. I've gone through a little bit of it, but I've like been having trouble finding like the actual file itself. I don't know. It's just like news stories, like, oh, like they released all this stuff, but I don't know where it is. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, he went through, shot all those kids. I don't believe there was like a security officer. I don't know. It's always like too little, too late with those guys anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was
I don't know,
he
dude.
gonna do? He was probably up against the weapons that Lanza had.
Yeah, do they have guns?
They probably don't even have. Yeah,
Probably
probably not in an elementary school.
Right.
Can I give my opinion on something? Because now I'm starting to realize maybe this is like the destruction of his mom's legacy.
she wasn't a teacher, or
Well, no, but she volunteered.
you know what I mean?
At this place, he could have went anywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that like there's like a more of a concentration of people at like schools and shit, but like
Right.
so like a lot of school shooters will go to the high school they went to, you know.
Yep.
But like this one is kind of unique because it's like it's completely out of the blue. It's not his
Not
age
his school
range.
or anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's a school he didn't even go to. It's all his only connection to this place is because of his mom.
Well,
I have-
also,
Yeah.
if the mom is there volunteering, like she cares more about them and clearly didn't help Adam at all.
Yeah.
Not that I'm like
Right.
sympathizing with someone that, you know, killed a bunch of 5 and 6-year-olds, 6 and 7-year-olds, whatever. But he was probably pissed off.
Yeah.
Like his mom sounds like she was just like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
see, I'm just going to quote unquote homeschool you. Like what?
I don't know if it's
And Dad
that.
is going to.
I almost feel like
I have
it's,
two additional theories to that.
Okay, shoot, let's hear.
The first of which was like the one I guess like that's kind of obvious. And Hannah, I think yours is probably true regardless. But so like he was fascinated with school shooters.
Yep.
He was pretty confident that that is what he wanted to do. So like he wanted to be the best and like the most like tragic and like the most like obscene.
Very true. Yep.
So killing
Little
6-year-olds.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And like I think that holds true that he you know didn't kill as many people, but I mean they're all 6-year-olds. So it's like no matter what like happens after Adam Lanza, his will always be the worst in my opinion.
Right. And his is number 2 on the
Right.
list as far as casualties.
Yeah.
So like he's still up there.
Yeah, but in like ferociousness and like I don't know,
Yeah.
tragedy, his is definitely
This is
number 1 by a long shot.
Oh yeah.
Secondly, there were some posts like that he made online or like a journal entry or something like that that he typed like when he was a little bit older about like the acceptability of men being in love with children and how he thought that that was like an acceptable form of love. So like I'm kind of thinking like, you know, he killed little kids.
He was a pedophile?
I mean, I don't know. You tell me, but yeah, like that's like
Gross.
confirmed his writing. Yeah, that like he thought that that was an acceptable form of love and like it shouldn't be ostracized. Like it should be accepted in society. Yeah, basically.
Pedophilia should be accepted.
Yeah.
Sounds like he was a great legal scholar as well.
I mean, yeah. You tell me. Like this kid was pretty smart. Like it didn't show through in like his academics and stuff like that because he, you know, didn't turn in assignments and like didn't want to do the work because he thought it was beneath him. I mean, you guys like heard him talk and like how he articulates like super intelligent. His writing is more of the same, you know.
Yeah.
This kid was really smart, too smart for his own good. But yeah, his views on pedophilia were strange, and I think that they had to have some factor in it. You know what I mean?
Weird.
Yeah, strange, right?
So I wonder if he like erased his computer because
Right.
he had like
yes. Right.
pornography or something
yeah.
like
I
mean,
disgusting.
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. Who knows? Yeah, dude. Maybe they still have that. I don't know. The kid was pretty, like I said, like pretty savvy, like as far as all that stuff. So he
Clearly,
probably,
yeah. If they weren't able to
probably
recover
covered his
anything,
tracks pretty well. But
Yeah.
you never know. Like maybe they still have it, and you know, and maybe down the line, like we'll get something out of it. But who knows? So let me see here. Yeah, dude. So it happened.
How did he destroy his hard drive?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Put it in the microwave.
Yeah.
Something pretty crazy. So this kind of, I guess, brings me to, so like a disclaimer. I'm not a mental health professional. You have
I
to.
am.
Yeah, Edith is.
Edith is.
Sup?
You have to.
I am also not one of those.
You have to read like the research literature in full. There's like, let me see. So, let me see here. So there's a correlation, right? And then like jumping to conclusions, like as far as his diagnoses go relating to mass murder. So what people noticed recently with cases like this is like they're making these like connections, like, oh, like these kids have these disabilities and they're committing mass murder. So criminal autistic psychopathy, right?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, which is a subtype. Yeah, so like causation versus correlation, right? So is that the cause of this mass murder? I don't think so. But like, does it correlate in some way? Yeah, sure.
Do you think it's a contributing factor at least?
Maybe.
I mean, it feels like it.
So like,
I don't know.
less than 1% of the population has ASD, but 8 to 28% of these type of killers have ASD. So like that's what kind of
Mass murders?
Yeah,
Okay.
mass murderers or serial killers.
Okay.
So they're kind of like they're overrepresented in that population, right?
Yep.
And like that's what people were like trying to, I don't know, like it's very like sensational, these crimes and the fact that they have this disability. I mean, people kill people all the time and they don't have these, disabilities, but
Right.
I thought that, like that was interesting. Like ASD, plus an interest in violence with comorbid depression and anxiety is like a pretty good recipe for something like this,
Yeah,
right?
I feel like 4%. That's a lot.
28,
28%
8 to 28, yeah.
for a population that's less than 1%. You said,
Yeah.
I
That's
saw a
pretty
statistic
gnarly.
recently that 1 in 20 people are on the spectrum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I feel
wow.
like the 1% is low for the people with ASD. I feel like it's
Yeah.
more like Edith's
I think
number.
it's being well, more people are getting help now and more people are
That is
getting
true.
diagnosed.
Yeah.
So, it is fairly common, but
Yeah.
there was something else going on with Adam versus just the ASD. Like
Yeah.
sounds like he was also a pedophile, so he had some weird sexual perversion stuff going on. Possibly
Yeah.
like antisocial traits at the very least.
Yeah.
So I've never heard of that. What did you call it? Autistic criminal psychopathy?
A criminal autistic psychopathy.
Yeah, see, I've never even heard of that. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it might put them at, higher risk of.
Yeah. So people with these like diagnoses are far times like more likely to be victims of violent crime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I think like what these papers like came down to was like, just because you have this diagnosis doesn't make you more likely to commit a crime, but like the mental health community was like thinking about making a subtype.
Okay.
Yeah, like criminal autistic psychopathy. Like, so these factors plus an interest in violence, I think like were the big things. Like they
Got it.
Yeah. This might be like something that is worth looking into. You know what I mean?
And and I guess he wouldn't really have antisocial personality disorder, would he?
He could.
I mean, like, yeah, like that diagnosis is so, well, a lot of these are
Yeah.
pretty broad, but yeah, like that one's so broad too. It's just like sensation seeking and
Because he wasn't like a
What else,
narcissist.
yeah.
He wasn't sensation seeking, obviously.
yeah.
He didn't,
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he got into a lot of trouble with the law beforehand. Usually that's like a very antisocial like trait is you're getting in trouble a lot.
Yeah. Substance use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Petty criminal beforehand.
Yep.
Yeah, like just being irresponsible, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, just literally
he
not
definitely
giving a
wasn't
fuck.
that.
Yeah, like I think that's weird. It's like, oh yeah, like most like murderers in prison, like they have this, and I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, could you even like classify that as something? Like they're in prison, like because they made all these mistakes. Like, of course they have these like traits.
Right.
I don't know.
Or sometimes people make one mistake and they get in trouble because, they are in dire straits and need to rob,
You
liquor
fucking
store to
kill one
survive.
person and they won't let you forget it.
Yeah, that too, where you like smoke a joint and then they throw you in jail. Like, come on.
You smoke the grass of Mother Gaia and then all of a sudden, fucking some pig arrests you on the street.
Like, another thing is people with ASD, there were like some studies that I read recently, they're 3 times more likely to complete suicide or die by suicide.
Really?
So the fact that I'm sure, part of the reason he committed suicide is because, he didn't want to get caught and go to jail and all of that. But I wonder if he wanted to commit suicide anyway and wanted to go out in such a way where people would remember him forever, which they will. Like
Did he write like a letter?
successfully completed that.
No.
No.
No suicide note or anything.
Damn.
Interesting. Where are the dad and brother now? Just out
I'm
living,
guessing they probably want to distance
living the
themselves.
GE dream.
So yeah. Hey man, I mean, I'm sure they're doing well. Well,
Did they
were
change their
before
names?
whole life ruined. No.
Oh, really?
No.
That's the first,
I mean, come
first
on.
thing I would do.
So when they found Adam's body, he had his brother's ID on him.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So initially, like they thought that was him.
What?
Forgive me, I forget his name. But then they found him and they arrested him. Like they arrested the brother, like because they thought that maybe he had something to do with it. You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah.
Sure.
They arrest this poor kid, and basically, like what he says about Adam, he's like, we don't talk. I haven't talked to him for some years now.
Right.
I don't know who he is anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's what he had to say about his brother. So they were not close, and I'm assuming it was the same with Dad. Well, Adam wasn't close with anyone, so.
Right, and I'm sure the dad was like, "Oh, my autistic son."
Yeah.
Or was really
yeah.
proud and talked to him all the time.
I'm sure.
I'm sure he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah. So.
He was a big fan of General Electric.
Shameless plug.
Yep.
So, yep, all of these things, and here's another little fancy term, ego dystonic, which means that he didn't think he had anything wrong with him, and he thought that his behavior was normal, essentially.
Yep.
Even though he was, like, suffering, and, like, didn't really hide that fact either. Like, he wrote it down on paper. I'm sure, like, it was pretty obvious, like, that he was, like, constantly in pain and anxiety and, like, didn't like the way his fucking clothes felt on him. And,
Yeah, he was constantly on edge.
Oh, my God,
What a
yeah.
horrible way to live. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like throughout this whole thing, I've been like, oh, poor guy. But honestly,
Yeah.
no one
understood.
can live like that. That's no way to fucking live. Of course, he shouldn't have
Right.
killed 33 people, but what an awful way to live. And
Yeah.
he did not get the help that he needed. Nancy, had the resources.
Nance.
Fucking Nance.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You know what that kid needed?
What?
Edith.
What?
He
Tom?
needed to do some DMT and get in a deprivation tank. Dude.
Maybe.
DMT.
Yeah.
Or ketamine or
Listen to some
something.
Joe
Like,
Rogan.
dude.
Jesus
Something.
Christ. Joe Rogan.
Listen to some
Anything.
Joe Rogan.
No, but like how terrible. I'm sure it could have been avoided if he or would have been different if they would have gotten him some help. Like the fact that he wasn't diagnosed until he was 13. Like,
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of curious. So that SID's sensory, what was it?
Interception.
It was
disorder?
sensory integration disorder.
Integration. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a good therapy would be like deprivation tanks, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
Convincing him to do it for his own well-being.
that's true.
Well, if you started him younger, like it
Yeah.
would have been easier.
Man.
But
Yeah.
they didn't even fucking bother.
Yeah, how the fuck do they?
They had the resources, clearly. Like, if they didn't
Yeah,
have the
what
resources,
the
that would be one thing. But, like, what'd you say, $250K in alimony? You fucking kidding me right now?
Just alimony.
Were they? I mean, I know.
No fucking excuse.
Yeah, I know that we'll probably never actually get the story of his home life because the dad and the brother both work for a big Fortune 500 company or whatever.
Yeah.
But, man, I'd be
Yeah.
super interested to see how involved the parents were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound like. I mean, I understand why the brother wouldn't be that connected with him. 'Cause it's like, what the fuck are you supposed to do? You're already older. And,
Yeah.
And the guy doesn't want to interact with you anyway. But it's like,
Yeah, they wouldn't have a relationship.
Yeah.
But the parents,
Yeah, but the
come
parents.
the fuck on.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, like that's a
13.
big reason why I think this case is so amazing, It's just because we'll never know that stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Sucks. I don't know. Maybe when that guy fucking retires.
I'm recording.
Yeah. Okay. So our batteries died on the thing, so that's why that.
Technical difficulties.
That's why that little jump cut you just heard is in there. Okay.
Boop, boop.
Okay. I have one last thing to say about this case that I thought was interesting. I just noticed this. Saw this in my feed somewhere pop up yesterday or 2 days ago. Recent Sandy Hook news. So the families of the victims want Alex Jones arrested. Here's why. That's the title. This was
Who's
yesterday.
Alex Jones?
Alex Jones is the InfoWars guy.
Oh, the one that thinks.
The water's turning all the frogs gay. Yeah, that guy.
Which is almost true, but they're
Because
actually
of all those birth control pills, all the estrogen and progesterone in the water.
He
changing
is
their sexes. Actually,
I wouldn't even say right wing. He's just the conspiracy theorist, but
dummy?
to the
I mean, he is right
millionth degree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's super right wing.
Yeah.
I mean, he had Trump on his fucking show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Trump called into his show.
He definitely hates.
Yeah.
He hates everything the left is doing. And
he thinks they're psychic pedophiles.
and he's out of his mind.
Oh.
He's out of his mind.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
back when this all happened, when Sandy Hook all happened, he was kind of like the one that initiated, the whole Sandy Hook is a hoax. Nobody died.
Crisis actor thing.
Yeah, like that whole slurry of bullshit, and it really took off, and there was a whole movement. Yeah, like the crisis actor thing, which I won't get too much into because that's a whole nother podcast. But he basically said that Sandy Hook was fake and it was orchestrated by the government for nefarious purposes. One of which being gun control, which nothing happened with gun control as a result of Sandy Hook, which is very disappointing. But anyway, yeah. So he was due to be deposed, right? He had a deposition scheduled.
Deposed.
Okay.
Deposed. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but
I don't think so.
he had a deposition that he bailed on. This is a part of a lawsuit over him calling Sandy Hook a hoax by the families of the victims.
Understandable.
So he missed both days of a scheduled deposition, Wednesday and Thursday, in Austin, Texas, home to Jones and InfoWars, which is his little news publication, I guess. I don't know. Propaganda channel. He cited a health problem that included vertigo and revealed Friday that it was a sinus infection. That's why he didn't show up. Per
Nice.
advice
Can
of
I
his
get
doctors.
a doctor's note, please?
Yeah, right. Honestly.
See that documented, son?
So he was not hospitalized, and he has to appear in person. So, oh no, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. So Thursday he was supposed to appear, and he wasn't hospitalized, and he was on his show in person on Tuesday.
Perfectly fine.
Right. So
got it.
He's full of shit. He is probably going to lose whatever case they brought against him because it's totally horrible.
Yeah,
and
I assume that's probably why he's just like, fuck it.
Oh my God. Right. Yeah. He's like, well, I'm going down, so I'm not going to waste my time at this deposition because
Right.
I know I'm fucked.
He's probably trying to raise as much money as possible so he can just pay a fine and then fuck it.
I don't even know if that movement has any coal left in the old fucking chamber there.
Yeah, because it's all civil, right? So he's just going to have to pay money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what do they ask? Do you know how much they're asking for damages?
I don't know, but they're talking about fining him $25,000 to $50,000 a day until he completes the questioning, or he's going to be found in contempt of court.
All right.
That sounds fair.
Yeah, sounds fair, right? So I thought that was interesting, because we picked this topic a couple weeks ago, and then the day before we do it, some news about Sandy Hook comes about.
Crazy.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
hasn't been in the headlines for a while.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, nothing good came out of Sandy Hook. Nothing.
Nope.
No change.
No reform. Yeah.
I remember when it happened, we were at the Westin somewhere. I think we might have been visiting, or we were in Minneapolis or something, but we were at a hotel together. I remember that. And we woke up that morning and, watched Obama do his thing.
Ugh.
Shed a tear. You know
poor
what I mean?
Obama, dude.
Yeah,
He had
poor Obama.
dealt with so much shit when he was president.
God bless that man.
Seriously.
Miss that guy.
I was just going to say, we miss you.
Yeah, please come back.
What do you mean? Please. I like Joe Biden. Joe Biden's sick, actually.
He's fine.
I'm not saying he's bad, but
Joe Biden is cool, okay?
No. Obama's like smooth. He's
Obama
cool.
is a great speaker.
He's like butter.
He is.
And he's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's cool.
Super funny and like hip.
He's pretty good at basketball too.
There's no dementia going on.
Yeah,
he's like great.
What is that implying? What is that implying?
Super sharp,
dude,
and super fit, and he's fucking cool.
Boss.
He's just cool as shit.
Yeah, we miss you.
And he's a great speaker.
PSA, we miss you, buddy.
Yeah, well, I got bad news for next election. I think Trump is probably gonna.
I don't want to.
He's at least going to run.
I almost welcome it. Because, man,
why?
Because that'd just be there you go, right? Because it'd just be entertaining,
No, it'd be terrible. I mean, if he runs, fine. I mean, it'd be funny, but man, if he
would fucking suck.
Fuck.
If he runs and he won, then you know what? He fucking deserves it, I guess. Because if we can't put up a decent candidate this time, I mean, who do we have, dude? I mean, I don't know.
I'm fucking moving.
Kamala Harris, dude.
Who do we have, bro?
Kamala, bro.
Yeah.
Have her on. Fuck it.
I would take her.
She's pretty cool too.
Yep.
I mean, everyone's like, Democrats suck, dude. But then when you actually see what they do, they're like, oh, these guys are actually pretty sick.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
I mean, if they don't pay off your fucking student loans, all you fucking babies cry for fucking 30 hours.
Hey, here's a pro tip: don't go to
that.
college, kids.
Yeah, it's bad for you. Okay.
No, that's definitely not true. On average, college educated people make $20,000 more than college educated people.
Yeah, but we also owe at least $20,000 more than you.
Yeah,
or in my case,
you can literally
almost
pay it
$200K.
Pretty quickly. So you guys just drag your asses and then complain.
I work with plenty of kids who have college degrees, and we get paid the exact fucking same.
LOL.
So,
fucking.
Well, you picked the wrong major, motherfucker.
Hey, man. Well,
yeah, pre-med, you picked the wrong major.
You picked the wrong fucking one. You should have been a garbage man.
It's not about the money, though.
It's always about the money.
That's what gets me about these kids,
trying to help people, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
They complain about the pay, and I'm like, why are you here?
Yeah, don't you want to help people? Wasn't that your major?
There are
Helping
plenty
people?
of jobs that pay way more. But
name three right now.
Okay.
GE CEO.
Garbage man. GE CEO.
Garbage man. Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo.
There you go.
That's true. He probably made a couple.
Raking
Sex
it in.
worker.
Ladies,
yeah, absolutely.
Man. Sex worker, yeah.
Shit.
That's probably true now.
Oh, it's 1,000% true.
Have you seen the money that these dancing
Yeah, it's
gals
pretty
make.
sick. I'm jealous, dude.
Dancing
These-
gals.
These dancing gals. Yeah, like down
You
in
are the dancing
Atlanta and stuff.
gal.
Like they're driving like $300,000 cars, and it's,
You don't even have to.
insane.
Yeah, you don't even have to be like naked. You can just like,
No.
put on a bikini. It's
Get
crazy.
money.
Yeah,
Fuck
it's
bitches,
sick.
get money.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Fuck bitches, get money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, is that the...
Hey, yeah. Thanks for listening. Once again, do your own research.
Well, do your own research and then verify with people who actually studied this shit in college.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Right.
Caveat.
I
Asterisk for that.
Asterisk.
I did my best to interpret what I read the best way I could. I am not a medical professional, so take that into consideration for what I said. But I did my best.
Yeah, but Mark did a bomb-ass job, so...
Yeah, good job, Mark.
Good
Hey,
job.
thanks, guys. Yeah, man.
Good job, my dude.
Just have to make that disclaimer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I am a medical professional, so
Yeah, well,
fuck
one of
all
us
of you.
definitely is.
All right.
But
I guess it checked out. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
so it
Me and Mark
checked
are
out
not,
to me,
but-
so
Checked out. All right.
everyone else can fuck off.
Yeah.
We're going to go
Thank
eat
you
our
for
Domino's
listening, though.
pizza. This is not sponsored by Domino's, but
Yeah, no, we're definitely not sponsored.
But word up to Domino's.
let us know. We're open to it.
Domino's.
Papa bless.
We're calling you.
Give us free pizza. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, give
Thanks.
us free pizza. We'll eat the pizza. Everybody
Krusty
wins.
Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me. Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me.
Krusty All right, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Okay, we love you. Bye.